Coming up tonight on YCN News, the Claremont City Council agrees to enter into a purchase and sale agreement with Lebanon-based Twin State Makerspaces Incorporated. A train project will bring fast and regular Amtrak service between Boston and Vermont en route to Montreal. And an announcement comes today from two top state officials that spending in Vermont will be reduced. For more news, weather, and sports, it's time for YCN, your local view.
Now, your daily digest of the Dartmouth-Lake Sunapee region, southern Vermont, and Windsor County. News, sports, weather, and all that is happening in our area. The news on YCN, your local view.
Good evening and welcome to this Thursday edition of YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. By a unanimous vote, the Claremont City Council agreed to enter into a purchase and sale agreement Wednesday night with Lebanon-based Twin State Makerspaces Incorporated. It will be sold for $1, but the reinvestment into the historic brick Sawtooth Mill building could be another economic boost for Claremont. Named as partners in the venture are Steve and Michelle Goldsmith and Tom Hoyt. The long vacant but renovated building will be sold to Makerspaces for $1, yet the owners are expected to put between $250,000 and $350,000 into further building upgrades and improvements. River Valley Community College is a partner in the deal, City Economic Development Director Nancy Merrill told councilors yesterday evening. The space, as its name suggests, will help business entrepreneurs, artists, tech startups make a new project or creation. Up to 6 full-time employees will be in the new location. As their businesses grow, so may local dollars come into the economy. Twin State Makerspace's actual bid for the building came in at $18.42. Also last night, in its talk of helping the city grow, train development came up. I can tell you more. I'm here at the Amtrak stop in Claremont, New Hampshire, where city councilors have been discussing an important topic. Will Claremont, on its own or with help from state or federal government, be able to increase ridership and improve how others view the city with additional train times? As more work around this proposal is done, YCN News will keep you updated. There are 3 different New Hampshire Department of Transportation projects underway or in the planning stages in Lebanon. A meeting tonight in Lebanon will give people more information about one of several road and bridge projects planned for the Upper Valley. Tonight's meeting is about the widening of the I-89 bridges that go over the Connecticut River and to and from New Hampshire and Vermont. Work is expected to begin in 2018. Also under repair and to start next Monday is the repair of portion of the I-89 bridge as it goes into Hardy Hill in Lebanon. New Hampshire and Vermont state transportation officials will need to work with each other as I-89 spans both states. 6 people throughout southeastern Vermont were arrested yesterday after a lengthy investigation by the Vermont Drug Task Force. The charges range from obstruction of justice to multiple individual accounts of heroin sales. Those arrested include 24-year-old Mariah Gagney of Wethersfield, charged by police with 2 counts of sale of heroin in the Wethersfield area. The sales allegedly happened May 14th at 5 p.m. in Rockingham, Vermont. Gagney is scheduled to appear July 29th in Windsor Superior Court on the charge. 19-year-old Anthony Figueroa of Jersey City, New Jersey. In August of 2013, Figueroa was arrested in New Jersey on state criminal charges. At that time, officials learned Figueroa was wanted on an outstanding arrest warrant from the state of Vermont. The outstanding Vermont warrant was for 2 counts of sale of heroin, which resulted from the drug sweep Operation Precision Valley in Springfield, Vermont in the spring of 2013. Figueroa was extradited to Vermont, where he was arraigned July 2nd in Windsor Superior Court. He is being held in the Southern State Correctional Facility in Springfield. 54-year-old Linda Brooks of Brattleboro, her role as charged by police with allegedly aiding in the sales of crack cocaine in the Brattleboro area. The charge is a felony-level crime. Brooks is set to appear on the charge September 2nd in Windham Superior Court. 29-year-old Joshua Martin of White River Junction, Vermont, is charged by police with 2 counts of sale of heroin in the Springfield, Vermont area. Martin allegedly sold the heroin on July 17th around 1 p.m. He is set to appear on the charge September 2nd in Windsor Superior Court. 33-year-old Christopher Jackson of Springfield, Vermont, police say the alleged sales of 2 counts of heroin took place in Springfield on July 3rd, shortly after 8 p.m. Jackson is set to appear on the charge August 12th in Windsor Superior Court. 40-year-old George Onuoha of Brattleboro, Vermont, for 4 alleged sales of crack cocaine in the Brattleboro area, say police. Police say the charges stem from a July 2nd noontime incident. He is being held without bail, say police, in the Southern State Correctional Facility in Springfield. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Also from Vermont comes an announcement today from 2 top state officials that spending will be reduced because expected revenue coming into the state is lower than projected. To balance the state's budget, Governor Peter Shumlin is proposing cutting about $31 million from Vermont's $1.4 billion general fund budget. That's about a 2% reduction. Governor Peter Shumlin and Administration Secretary Jeb Spaulding told reporters this morning that the state continues to recover from their deepest recession since the Great Depression. While gains in jobs and money coming into the state have risen since 2011, there is more catching up to do. State revenues money collected from fees and taxes are now projected to climb by 3% instead of the 4.8% increase previously projected by the state leaders. Since 2011, money coming into the state has increased by $179 million. This year, $46 million more dollars than in 2013 came into state coffers. Shumlin says it is better to cut spending to make up for less revenue than raise taxes. He compared the situation to expecting a raise, receiving it, and then having it to be less than expected. There will be a hiring freeze, including of vacant positions. Shumlin also says today his administration will meet with other state leaders to review the proposed spending cuts. The state's Joint Fiscal Committee will be a part of this review. He said the state will not tap into its rainy day fund nor cut debt service or retirement contributions. The state's education fund is expected to remain at its approved level for fiscal year 2015. Shumlin says he is pleased the state's economy continues to grow and revenues climbing. Vermont is not alone. Other states across the country are in the same difficult boat. By taking action now, Shumlin says spending can be reined in until revenues catch up with economic forecasts. In other Vermont news, the Associated Press is reporting that a federal judge is reviewing concerns about a 15 wind turbine project set to be erected in the Green Mountain National Forest. Judge J. Garvin Murtha heard testimony about the proposed 400-foot towers. Murtha will consider the views from the project's opponents, Vermonters for a Clean Environment, and its supporters, the U.S. Forest Service. YCN News will bring you further developments about this Deerfield wind proposal. Welcome back to YCN News. I'm Rose Spillman. Now, Matt McDonald will have a look at our weather for the next few days and then move on to sports.
Thanks, Rose. Tonight we'll have mostly clear skies with a low of 50 degrees. Tomorrow will be sunny with a high of 82 degrees and calm winds around 5 miles per hour. Friday night will be partly cloudy with lows in the 50s. Saturday will be mostly sunny with highs in the 80s and winds between 5 and 10 miles per hour. Saturday night will have a 50% chance of rain with cloudy skies and a low of 62 degrees. You can see here on the map that we have a few clouds, but no storms are projected to hit us. Now let's see what's coming up on our community calendar. Tomorrow in Vermont, the Bellows Falls Farmers Market will begin at 4 p.m. In New Hampshire, the Upper Valley Community Band will perform in Enfield at 7 p.m. at Hughes Park. At 8 p.m., the Tupelo Music Hall in White River Junction will host Max Creek. Remember, you can submit local events from your community by sending them to news@ycnnow.com. And we have some new Fisher Cats updates for you. Last night was the last game in the series with Trenton, and unfortunately, the Fisher Cats suffered a loss 5-2. Trenton already had 5 points by the time New Hampshire started to score. Player Jack Murphy made a homer to complete 1 run in the bottom of the 7th. New Hampshire scored its final point in the bottom of the 9th with another point brought on by Jack Murphy. Tonight is the first game with Harrisburg in a 4-game series.